The smell of popcorn and sawdust fills the air as the circus crowd filters out, their excited chatter receding into the night. I linger near the entrance, watching them go, the thrill of the show still buzzing in my veins. Tonight's performance was electric. My wife, Lisa, was brilliant as always. Her lithe form moved with precision, and the audience gasped in awe at each flawless throw of the skittles. "Hey, Dave!" My thoughts are interrupted by Charlie, the ringmaster, his face still painted in gaudy hues, though now smudged from sweat. "Another great show, huh? Your wife is a star, man." "Yeah, she sure is," I reply, forcing a smile. "She's got quite the talent." Charlie claps me on the back and heads off towards the staff tents. I make my way to Lisa's dressing room, the excitement of the night turning into a strange anxiety. It's been creeping up on me for weeks now, a gnawing feeling I can't shake off. Tonight, I decide, I'll confront it. The corridor to the dressing rooms is dimly lit, the only sound the distant clang of equipment being packed away. I reach Lisa's door, my hand hesitating on the knob. From inside, I hear soft laughter, muffled voices. My heart pounds. I take a deep breath and push the door open. The sight that greets me freezes me in place. Lisa, half naked, sprawled on the small vanity table, her skin glistening with sweat. Beside her, her juggling partner, Tom, stands with his back to me, one hand on her thigh, the other holding a skittle in a manner that turns my stomach. "Dave!" Lisa gasps, her eyes wide with shock as she scrambles to cover herself. Tom spins around, dropping the skittle with a clatter. What the hell is going on here? My voice is a low growl, barely recognizable. "Dave, it's not what it looks like," Lisa stammers, but the guilt is written all over her face. "Not what it looks like?" I bark, stepping into the room. "You're half naked, and he's using our props for this?" Tom raises his hands, stepping back. "Dave, man, I didn't mean for this to happen. We just got carried away." "Shut up!" I snap, my fists clenching at my sides. "Both of you, just shut up." Lisa grabs her robe, covering herself as she approaches me. "Dave, please. We can talk about this." "Talk about what, Lisa?" I seethe, stepping back from her touch. "How you've been cheating on me. How you desecrate our act, our life, with this?" The betrayal is like a punch to the gut, and I can hardly breathe. My mind races, anger and humiliation boiling over. I need to get out of here, but not before I make it clear that this isn't over. "Get dressed," I command, my voice cold. "Both of you. Now." They obey in silence, the air thick with tension. I turn on my heel and walk out, needing the fresh night air to clear my head. As I step outside, I hear the distant hum of the circus, the sounds of celebration and merriment, a stark contrast to the storm raging inside me. My mind churns with thoughts of revenge. This betrayal won't go unpunished. Lisa's career, her life here at the circus, it's all built on lies now. I can ruin it. I will ruin it. The night sky is clear, stars twinkling as if mocking my pain. I light a cigarette, the smoke curling around me as I formulate a plan. The circus is my world, too, and I have the means to destroy her within it. I take one last drag, flicking the butt into the darkness. Tomorrow, the games begin. Lisa won't see it coming. I'll be her biggest nightmare, and when I'm done, she'll regret ever crossing me. I smile grimly, the first real smile since I opened that door. The circus life is brutal, but so am I. The next morning, I wake with a sense of grim determination. The betrayal still burns, but today I channel that fire into action. As I dress, my mind is already whirring with plans. The circus may be a place of wonder for the audience, but behind the scenes, it's a tightly knit community. Rumors spread like wildfire, and I intend to use that to my advantage. I head to the big top, where the crew is already bustling about, setting up for the next show. I spot Charlie, the ringmaster, barking orders at a group of roustabouts. "Charlie!" I call, jogging up to him. He turns, his face lighting up when he sees me. "Dave!" "What's up, buddy?" I force a smile. "Got a minute?" "Need to talk to you about something." He nods, gesturing for me to follow him to a quieter corner. "What's on your mind?" I take a deep breath, choosing my words carefully. "It's about Lisa and Tom." I found out something last night. Something bad." Charlie's expression shifts to concern. "What happened?" I tell him everything, the words spilling out in a rush of anger and hurt. By the time I'm done, Charlie's face is a mask of shock and disgust. That's awful, Dave." "I had no idea." "Neither did I say bitterly. "But now that I do, I need your help." Charlie nods slowly. "What do you need?" "I want them out. Both of them. Lisa's been unfaithful, and I can't work with Tom knowing what he did. We need to replace them." Charlie's eyes narrow. "That's a tall order, Dave. They're a big draw. But considering the circumstances, I think we can make it happen." I clasp his shoulder, grateful. "Thanks, Charlie. I knew I could count on you." As we part ways, I feel a small measure of satisfaction. It's a start, but I know it won't be enough. I need to make sure Lisa's reputation is tarnished beyond repair. Later, I find myself in the costume tent, where Marie, the seamstress, is busy mending a sequin jacket. She's been with the circus for years and knows everyone's secrets. "Morning, Marie," I greet her, slipping into the tent. "Morning, Dave. What brings you here?" I sit down, lowering my voice. "I need to ask you a favor." "It's about Lisa." Marie's eyes twinkle with curiosity. "Go on." I lean in, speaking in a conspiratorial tone. "I need you to spread a rumor. Something that'll get everyone talking." She raises an eyebrow. "And what might that be?" "Tell people that Lisa's been caught stealing from the troupe. Jewelry, money, anything valuable. Make it sound convincing." Marie's eyes widen, but she nods. "I can do that." "But why?" "She's been unfaithful," I explain, the anger flaring up again. "She and Tom, they are not who we thought they were. I want them out of here." Marie shakes her head, clicking her tongue. "Such a shame. But consider it done." With Marie on board, I feel the wheels of my plan starting to turn. I spend the rest of the day planting seeds of doubt and suspicion, subtly encouraging the whispers and side glances that follow Lisa wherever she goes. By evening, the atmosphere in the circus is tense. People are talking, and I can see Lisa starting to feel the pressure. She catches my eye once, her face a mask of confusion and fear. I look away, unwilling to let her see the satisfaction in my gaze. The show goes on, but there's a palpable undercurrent of unease. Lisa and Tom perform their act, but it lacks the usual spark. The audience notices, their applause lukewarm compared to the usual thunderous ovation. After the show, I make my way to Lisa's dressing room again, this time with a sense of purpose. I knock, and she opens the door, her eyes red-rimmed from tears. "Dave, what's happening?" she pleads. "People are saying horrible things about me. About us." I step inside, closing the door behind me. "You brought this on yourself, Lisa. You and Tom." She shakes her head, desperation in her voice. "I never meant to hurt you. It just happened." "Save it," I snap. "You've made your bed, and now you have to lie in it." Lisa collapses onto the vanity chair, sobbing. For a moment, a pang of guilt tugs at me, but I push it away. This is what she deserves. As I leave her dressing room, I run into Tom. He looks just as distraught, his eyes pleading with me. "Dave, please. You have to understand, it was a mistake. We didn't mean for it to go this far." I stare at him, the anger boiling over. "You're done here, Tom. Both of you." Pack your things and leave. Tom opens his mouth to argue, but I turn and walk away, not wanting to hear another word. The circus is a place of loyalty and trust, and they have shattered that. I find Charlie again and update him on the situation. They'll be gone by tomorrow, I tell him. And we'll need replacements. He nods, his face set in a grim line. I'll make the arrangements. We'll get through this, Dave. As the night wears on, I can't help but feel a sense of grim satisfaction. Lisa and Tom's betrayal is being punished, and soon they'll be out of my life for good. But as I lie in my bunk, staring at the canvas ceiling of my trailer, a nagging thought creeps in. Revenge is a double-edged sword, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for the price it might exact. But for now, there's no turning back. The curtain has fallen on Lisa and Tom, and I'm the one pulling the strings. Tomorrow is a new day, and the circus must go on. The next morning dawns grey and overcast, a fitting backdrop for the chaos that is about to unfold. I wake with a sense of anticipation, knowing that today marks the end of Lisa and Tom's time here. As I step out of my trailer, the air is thick with tension. The circus is buzzing with whispers, the rumors Marie spread working their way through the troupe like a poison. I head to the main tent, where Charlie is already overseeing the morning preparations. He looks up as I approach, his expression grave. Morning, Dave. You ready for this? I nod. This? Let's get it over with. We make our way to the performers' area, where Lisa and Tom are waiting. Lisa looks pale and drawn, her eyes darting around nervously. Tom stands beside her, his face a mask of resignation. Lisa, Tom, Charlie begins, his voice stern. We've discussed this, and it's clear that your actions have caused a lot of pain and distrust. I'm afraid we have no choice but to ask you to leave the circus. Lisa's eyes fill with tears, and she opens her mouth to protest, but I cut her off. This is for the best, Lisa. You can't expect to stay here after what you've done. Tom steps forward, his hands clenched at his sides. This isn't fair, Dave. We made a mistake, but we don't deserve to be thrown out like this. Fair? I scoff. You think this is about fairness? You betrayed me. You betrayed all of us. The crowd that has gathered to watch murmurs in agreement, and I can see the weight of their judgment settling on Lisa and Tom. They exchange a glance, then turn to leave, their shoulders slumped in defeat. As they walk away, I feel a mix of satisfaction and sadness. This is what they deserve, but it doesn't feel as good as I thought it would. I turn to the others, forcing a smile. Let's get back to work. We've got a show to put on. The day passes in a blur of activity. Rehearsals, equipment checks, and costume fittings fill the hours, keeping my mind occupied. But every now and then, I catch a glimpse of Lisa's empty dressing room, and the hollow ache of betrayal returns. That evening, as the crowd gathers for the show, I find myself backstage, watching the performers prepare. The atmosphere is tense, the events of the past few days casting a shadow over everything. I take a deep breath, reminding myself that this is necessary. The circus must go on, and we can't afford to be distracted by personal drama. The show begins, and I watch from the wings as the acts unfold. The acrobats soar through the air, the clowns tumble and pratfall, and the animals perform their tricks with practiced precision. But it's not the same. There's a pall over the performance, a sense of unease that the audience can feel. As the final act approaches, I notice a commotion near the entrance. Two men in dark suits are speaking with Charlie, their expression serious. My heart sinks as I recognize them. They're from the Circus Board, the group that oversees all the traveling shows in the region. If they're here, it means trouble. I make my way over, my stomach churning with dread. What's going on? Charlie looks up, his face pale. Dave, these gentlemen are here to investigate some allegations. Allegations? I echo, my mind racing. What kind of allegations? One of the men steps forward, his expression stern. We've received reports of theft and misconduct within your troupe. We need to conduct a thorough investigation. My blood runs cold. The rumors I started to discredit Lisa and Tom are coming back to haunt me. This is a mistake, I stammer. We dealt with the problem. The people responsible are gone. The man shakes his head. I'm afraid it's not that simple. We need to speak with everyone, gather evidence. If there's been any wrongdoing, it needs to be addressed. Charlie places a hand on my shoulder, his grip firm. We'll cooperate fully. Let's get this sorted out. The rest of the evening is a blur of questions and accusations. The investigators speak with everyone, probing for details about the thefts and the supposed misconduct. I can see the suspicion in their eyes, and it gnaws at me. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. As the investigation drags on, I retreat to my trailer, my mind a whirl of anxiety. I thought I had everything under control, but now it feels like the ground is slipping out from under me. The circus is my life, and if the board decides to shut us down, I'll lose everything. There's a knock at the door, and I open it to find Marie standing there, her expression grim. Dave, we've got a problem. Tell me something I don't know, I mutter, stepping aside to let her in. It's worse than you think, she says, lowering her voice. People are starting to talk. They're saying you set Lisa and Tom up, that the thefts were just a cover to get rid of them. My heart sinks. That's ridiculous. Why would I do that? To get revenge, she says bluntly. People know how much Lisa meant to you, and they think you couldn't handle the betrayal. I run a hand through my hair, frustration boiling over. This is a mess. I never meant for it to go this far. Marie sighs. You need to fix this, Dave. Before it's too late. I nod, knowing she's right. But as I sit there, trying to think of a way out, I can't help but feel trapped. I've set something in motion that I can't control, and it's threatening to destroy everything I've worked for. The next morning, the investigation continues, the tension mounting with each passing hour. I do my best to keep things running smoothly, but it's clear that the performers are on edge. The circus is a family, and the cracks in our foundation are starting to show. As I watch the investigators move through the camp, questioning everyone, I realize that I need to come clean. It's the only way to stop this before it goes too far. But the thought of admitting what I've done fills me with dread. It could cost me everything. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for what I need to do. I find Charlie, pulling him aside. I need to talk to the investigators, I tell him, my voice shaking. I have something to confess. Charlie's eyes widen, but he nods. I'll get them. As I wait, my mind races. This is it. The moment of truth. I just hope it's not too late to save the circus and myself. When the investigators arrive, I take a deep breath and begin. There's something you need to know, I say, my voice steady. The rumors about the thefts, they were started by me. To discredit Lisa and Tom. The room falls silent, the weight of my confession hanging in the air. The investigators exchange glances, their expressions hardening. Why would you do that? One of them asks, his tone icy. I swallow hard. They betrayed me. Lisa was my wife, and she cheated on me with Tom. I was angry, and I wanted revenge. But I never meant for it to go this far. The lead investigator shakes his head. This is serious, Dave. You've not only damaged their reputations, but also jeopardized the entire circus. I know, I say, my voice cracking. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make it right. The investigators exchange another glance, then nod. We'll take this into consideration. But there will be consequences. As they leave, I feel a weight lift from my shoulders. The truth is out, but the road ahead is still uncertain. I've taken the first step towards redemption, but it will take a lot more to repair the damage I've done. The circus must go on, and so must I. But now, it's not just about revenge. It's about finding a way to make things right, no matter the cost. The morning after my confession, the circus camp is a hive of activity, but there's a palpable tension in the air. The performers are wary, casting suspicious glances my way as I walk through the grounds. The weight of my actions hangs over me like a dark cloud, but I know what I have to do. It's time to face the consequences and put an end to this once and for all. I head to the main tent where the investigators are wrapping up their inquiries. Charlie is there, looking more tired than I've ever seen him. He spots me and waves me over. "Dave, they want to see you," he says, his voice heavy with worry. I nod, steeling myself for what's to come. The lead investigator, a stern-faced man named Harris, steps forward as I approach. "Mr. Thompson, we've reviewed your confession and spoken to the others," he begins. "We appreciate your honesty, but your actions have caused significant harm. The board will need to decide on the circus's future." "I understand," I reply, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "I'll do whatever it takes to make amends." Harris nods, but his expression remains grim. "We'll let you know our decision soon. In the meantime, I suggest you speak with Lisa and Tom. They deserve to hear the truth from you." I swallow hard, knowing he's right. The thought of facing Lisa again fills me with dread, but there's no avoiding it. I make my way to her trailer, rehearsing what I'll say. As I approach, I see Tom leaving the trailer, his face a mask of anger. He spots me and strides over, his fists clenched. "Dave, you son of a bitch," he growls. "You ruined everything." "Tom, I start, but he cuts me off with a shove. "Save it. I don't want to hear your excuses. You think you can just waltz in and apologize? After everything you've done?" I stagger back, the force of his anger taking me by surprise. "I'm trying to make things right, Tom. I know I messed up." He glares at me, his eyes filled with hatred. "You think an apology is enough? You destroyed our lives. Lisa and we loved each other, and you took that away." Before I can respond, Lisa steps out of the trailer, her eyes red and swollen from crying. She looks between Tom and me, her expression unreadable. "Lisa, please," I begin, my voice trembling. "I'm sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen." She shakes her head, tears streaming down her face. "Why, Dave? Why did you have to do this?" "Because I was hurt," I admit, my voice breaking. "I loved you, and when I found out about you and Tom, it felt like my whole world was falling apart. I wanted to hurt you back." Lisa's face hardens, her eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and anger. "Well, you succeeded. You destroyed everything." The weight of her words hits me like a punch to the gut. I've lost her, and there's no going back. But before I can respond, a new voice cuts through the tension. "Excuse me," a woman says, stepping into view. She's tall, with sharp features and piercing blue eyes. "I'm Detective Sarah Reed. I've been investigating some suspicious activities within the circus." We all turn to look at her, confusion mingling with the tension in the air. "What are you talking about?" I ask, my voice suspicious activities within the. She pulls out a badge and flashes it briefly. "There's more going on here than just personal drama. We've been tracking a series of thefts and fraudulent activities linked to the circus, and it appears your actions may have inadvertently exposed a larger scheme." Tom's eyes widen in shock. "What? That can't be true." Detective Reed nods. "It's true. We've been watching the circus for months, gathering evidence. It seems someone has been using the circus as a front for illegal activities. And thanks to the chaos you stirred up, Mr. Thompson, we've been able to identify the culprits." Lisa looks at the detective, then back at me. "You mean, this wasn't just about us?" Reed shakes her head. "No, it wasn't. The people we've arrested were using the rumors and the tension you created as a cover for their operations. Your actions, while misguided, helped us crack the case." I stand there, stunned. My plan for revenge had unintended consequences, leading to something much bigger than personal betrayal. But the revelation does nothing to ease the pain of what I've done. Detective Reed continues, we'll be securing the circus and conducting a thorough investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you all take some time to reflect on what's happened. With that, she turns and walks away, leaving us in stunned silence. Tom looks at me, his anger still simmering, but mixed with confusion. This doesn't change anything between us, Dave, he says, his voice cold. You still betrayed us. I know, I reply, my voice heavy with regret. And I'm truly sorry. Lisa steps forward, her eyes hardening as she looks at me. You wanted revenge, Dave? Well, you got it. But at what cost? You've lost everything. Her words cut deep, and I know she's right. The circus, my friends, my wife, everything I held dear is gone. As Lisa and Tom walk away, I realize that our paths have diverged forever, bound only by the mutual hatred born from betrayal. I turn and walk towards the edge of the circus grounds, the realization settling in. The show must go on, but it will go on without me. I've destroyed the life I knew, and now I must find a way to rebuild, alone. As I leave the circus behind, the sounds of the big top fading into the distance, I know that this chapter of my life is over. The deception has been revealed, and the main characters have parted forever, their bonds shattered by the weight of their actions. But in the midst of the ruin, there's a sliver of hope. The circus will survive, and perhaps in time, so will I. The road ahead is uncertain, but it's one I must travel. The final act has played out, and now it's time to face the consequences and find a new path forward.